Hello, my name is Emma Smith, and this is Conservation Mismatch. In a study by Clinton Jenkins, he explains how, in order to effectively protect vulnerable species that are vital to the Earth's ecosystems, we must protect their habitats. But, according to Jenkins, there is not an overlap where currently protected areas in the United States are located and where the most vital species are located. Jenkins wants to challenge the normative actions behind conservation and protect vital ecosystems. He looked at the two most vulnerable species types. The first is species with small geographic ranges, especially those endemic, or only found, within the U.S. The next is small range species, whose ranges are smaller than the average size. In response by Christopher Brown, he expresses that priority mapping doesn't entail contemporary challenges that conservationists face today. This includes the need for explicit objectives, prioritizing actions over places, the consideration of social, economic, and political restraints, and the need for the conservation of all species, not just those found in biodiverse hotspots. My research question is why is there conservation mismatch in the areas that the United States has chosen to protect? Is it due to miscommunication, aesthetics of landscapes, or lack of funding? Also, should we be looking at the importance of priority scores and the reality of funding and clear objectives as separate or together? Using the data from the Jenkins study, we took the endemic and vulnerable species of amphibians, birds, mammals, trees, and created a map of diversity hotspots in the country. The highest priority score is found in the southeastern United States. We also used the Jenkins article and GIS calculations to see where the most protected lands are in the United States. There are various small pockets of protection all over the U.S., but the yellow on the map shows where the most protection currently is. When you overlap where protected public lands are in the United States and where we need to be protecting species according to Jenkins, there is a clear discrepancy. This is an example of conservation mismatch. Where we need to be protecting biodiversity is in the southeastern part of the United States, but most protection is happening in the western United States, where it is black on the map. Conservation mismatch is especially prominent in urban landscapes. According to Sarah Borgstrom and Thomas Elmquist, conservation mismatch is prevalent in urban landscapes because they are always changing, green spaces are small in number, and because of the intensive land use by humans. Being aware of the negative effects of conservation mismatch in cities helps with planning for protecting endemic species. There are small islands of habitat found in cities, resulting in ecosystems slowly declining and not being able to offer as many ecosystem services to those living in the cities. While the Jenkins data clearly shows that conservation mismatch is a problem nationally, conservation mismatch will also affect local environments, particularly in urban areas. According to Marcio O'Hara Prado and Rafael Luis Fonesca, endangered species who have a small geographic range are more likely to experience habitat loss and extinction if there is a prominent urban area in their habitat range. They found that with the importance of urban areas growing in society, that conservation for endangered species may not be seen as valuable, resulting in the conservation of their habitat declining. In a study by Zumai Bey, he calls for the need of public policy and systems planning when urban areas are planning for conservation. Bey recognizes that mismatch may exist while planning, so he thinks that caution needs to be taken into account when cities are choosing their green spaces. Bey also mentions how oftentimes cities look at their own local area without looking at the larger picture nationally. Cities may choose to preserve a beautiful park because its residents use it often rather than an area that actually needs to be preserved for the benefit of biodiversity as a whole. Thank you for watching and have a great day.